Good welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator Devion, and to all of you Grand Marshal fans, BeamNG fans, and police-chasing fans alike, welcome to BeamNG.drive for the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament, episode number 10. We are at double digits. Can you believe it, my friend Devion?
I can't believe it. It's only been like, I don't know, half a year ago that we started doing this.
But in any event, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for round number 28 to see who is the best Grand Marshal police car in all of BeamNG.drive mods, of course, included. It is a beautiful day on Gold Coast for us to reach double digits, and my hat has now been fastened to my head. If anyone cares, I don't wear my headphones. I put them on my hat because it hurts my ears. I digress. Anyway, let us look at the lineup of competitors for today. In the first place position, tied for first with Police Interceptor, we have Mississippi State, the Mississippi State Trooper car, for representing the Mississippi State Police Department. I think it's police. It could be State Patrol. Let's have a look at that just to make sure everything is all accurate. You know, let's see. Here we go. It is actually Mississippi Highway Patrol. Yes. Oh, Devion casually. While I was looking that up, Devion casually zoomed into the logo. Yes. Mississippi Highway Patrol, however, I say State Trooper car because it says State Trooper on the fender. So yes, Mississippi State Trooper, a very formidable challenger who has managed to climb his way through the ranks and reach that first place kind of position. But however, he is going to have a lot of ground to make up because he is locked in vicious combat with his competitor just behind him, the Police Interceptor car, who also possesses 7 points and who also has a wish to win this tournament and is willing to do whatever he can and fight tooth and nail in order to claim that trophy for himself. However, neither of these cars, despite the fact that they have been battling each other for a few episodes now, could ever have possibly expected some of the other competitors in this tournament, such as just behind them, Fairhaven City, the underdog, with, I believe, 5 points. Yes, 5 points. Fairhaven City, the underdog, absolutely amazing challenger here. Despite the fact that they are in third place in terms of the points running, they have garnered quite the underdog following and perhaps a bit of a cult following, you could say. A lot of people are rooting for them, and in fact, fun fact, Devion actually played Most Wanted 2012 the other day for the first time. But yes, Fairhaven City is a very formidable competitor here in this game. However, he will have a lot of ground to make up if he has any chance of challenging Police Interceptor or Mississippi for that first place position. In the fourth place position, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nypd School Safety sporting a very nice V-shaped vector light bar, all red, a few lights on his front bumper as well, and a gorgeous black and white color scheme diverging from the normal white and blue of the regular NYPD. However, none of these advantages have managed to help him really in the past couple of episodes because he only has 1 point to his name, which is admittedly more than I can say for some competitors in Alaska. But in any event, yes, hopefully he'll be able to grab himself some more points. Maybe this episode will be his time to shine. For all we know, he could win all 3 rounds of this episode and end up with 4 points, tied with who has 4 points? Detroit. Tied with Detroit. It could happen, or he could get eliminated. There's a lot of possibilities, and there's only one way to find out. In the 5th place position, ladies and gentlemen, who ironically also has... Oh, wait, no, I'm dumb, sorry. Who has 6 points, actually, not 5 points. Got a little bit confused there. We have New York City Transit Police, hailing from the 90s, perhaps even representing the 90s in some different ways. Transit Police car, what a competitor, my friend Devion, I have to say, who has kind of not done the greatest for the entire tournament, but is finally gaining that steam that he had in the 15-round tournament done, actually last year as well, can you believe that? But yes, all he needs is 1 point to put himself on that front front position where he will be able to challenge Mississippi and Police Interceptor for the title of Grand Marshal Champion. What do you think about this? What do you think about this competitor, Devion?
I think he's gonna like take the lead because like Mississippi and Interceptor are too busy always wrecking themselves, so he could sneak by and like get some points here and there.
I fully agree. Yes, Mississippi and Police Interceptor have been battling each other to the point where it's allowing other vehicles to move forward across from them. That's not the right terminology. Move forward past them and past them. Yes, that is better terminology in order to seize the point for themselves. We saw it in the past. We saw it in the past couple of episodes. No particular cars come to mind because I'm a moron with no working memory. But in any event, yes, Transit Police could manage to do this, and we all know that he is a very formidable competitor who definitely has that strategy under his belt. And if he manages to seize that If he manages to seize one round of this episode, he will be put on the board for that first place position, and it would be a three-way tie, and that would be a skull, ladies and gentlemen. In our next sixth place position, we have totally not an NYPD vehicle. Joke is over. Anyway, yes, we have NYPD Undercover. Yeah, for a second there, I thought it would have been funny if you just moved on to the truck. But yeah, no, never mind. Dumb joke. You can obviously cut that out if you want. In any event, in our sixth place position, we have this is not an NYPD vehicle, except psych. Yes, it actually is Sneak 100, ladies and gentlemen. For our sixth place competitor, NYPD Undercover, sporting a taxi livery here, but also police lights because he is looking to catch the runner just as much as these other police cars. And he's looking to bring some stealth and sneaky Skyrim tactics into the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament to see if stealth is actually a superior police chasing tactic. And it has unfortunately not actually worked out for him though, because he only has no points, 0 points to his name. This could be his time to make it or break it though today in this episode, because if he manages to get a point, he will be on the board and proving that stealth is a valuable police tactic. However, if he gets no points, he could be under threat of elimination. In our seventh place position, we have the Detroit police car, a wallpaper on wheels, as I continue to say. However, I can't really make fun of him that much anymore because the truth is he has 4 points. He is in fourth place in terms of the point standing with 4 points. He has won several rounds in spectacular ways, and he is proving himself to be an emerging force and a formidable competitor in the face of some of the bigger competitors such as Mississippi Police Interceptor and Transit Police. In addition, he also has the most style points pretty much of all the police cars, having thrown the shipping container off the cliff that one time, and there was also some other stuff that he did. In any event, yes, Detroit Police, very interesting competitor. Not quite up there in the point standings just yet, but definitely has all of the style to show for it, as evidenced by the fact that his car is, once again, a wallpaper on wheels. And emerging from his 3-year excursion to the forests of the world, including but not limited to the Amazon, we have the Department of Environmental Protection Police, who kind of bumped a birch tree, yes. For 3 years running, he has been in the forests of the world doing his best to preserve those environments, hence the name. But now he has decided to join the tournament. Ladies and gentlemen. He decided, I guess he needed a break from all those trees, and today he's decided to bring some of that natural spirit to the tournament to see if somehow the power of the freaking forest, I don't know, can rival some of the very formidable police chasing competitors that we've got. In addition, not just that, he also has a history of police chasing because the DEP police car was in fact in the 15-round tournament that I keep talking about. Let me see if I can just find the notepad for it. Notepad document it somewhere. Don't worry. Just give me a second. Hold on. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. Here we go. Here's the text document for it. DEP police car was actually in the second place for that tournament. Yeah, he had 3 points, and he had 3 points, and he was tied with 2 other cars as well in the 15-round tournament. So yeah, DEP police car, after his 15-round tournament performance and after his several-year excursion into the forests of the world in order to engage in acts of environmentalism and environmental protection, he has made his triumphant return to see if he can be crowned the greatest Grand Marshal of all. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, turn on your sirens, activate your lights, and start your engines because round number 28 of the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament is about to begin. And the competitors are off, ladies and gentlemen. Our first place competitors, Police Interceptor and Mississippi in the front place position, Underdog Fairhaven in the third, School Safety with that beautiful vector light bar in the fourth, Transit Police, the former 15-round tournament champion, in the fifth. There he is, yep, just behind him is NYPD Undercover, Detroit in the seventh, and DEP Police in the final position, making his triumphant return from the 15-round tournament done very long ago. What are your thoughts on that, Devion?
Yeah, I want to see if he brings up any of those strategies he used in those 15 rounds into the tournament.
Yes, I actually checked the point standings. Fairhaven going around wide, seeing what he can do. Doesn't really do much, though. Transit Police going wide as well. There's nothing for him to overtake, though. Never mind, I lied. Trying to challenge School Safety doesn't work. Loses a position to NYPD Undercover. Pretty unfortunate for him, yes, and here comes DEP Police to round out the lineup. But yes, as I was saying, the 15-round tournament was definitely an interesting one. I went for 15 rounds, hence the name. Transit Police won 5 of them, actually. Transit Police won 5 of those 15, and that is why he is such a fearsome competitor in this game. But actually, there was a 3-way tie for second as well in that, because I checked my notepad document from back in the day. There were 3 different cars that had 3 points, which was the second place, and DEP Police was one of them. So he definitely brought his fire to the 15-round tournament, but we'll see if he can bring the same fire to this tournament. As Fairhaven School Safety, look at these drifts, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and that's a little weird. Wait, so maybe the AI is just kind of glitching and like pretending the turn is ahead. That's weird. DP Police though manages to get a spot from Detroit. Oh, they're battling for the spot, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, 7th place is being contested. Transit Police is in 6th as well, trying to reclaim that spot from NYPD Undercover. Very nice. Very interesting.
And now the cars are heading onto a long straight, and we'll see them pick up speed and see what they could do at the end.
Yes, indeed. The long straight is definitely a place for some of the cars to make it or break it. Many cars have been destroyed by the long straight. However, there have been a couple times where the long straight is used to their advantage in order to actually catch the runner. And NYPD Undercover with some front bumper damage. Not sure how that happened, but it looks like his speed is suffering as a result of that. DEP Police gets ahead of Detroit somewhere, and now he's trying to challenge Transit Police in that 6th and 7th position. It looks like the runner is actually about to reach the beach turn as well. So let's see if anything interesting will happen here. Likely nothing happens because Mississippi and Police Interceptor have pretty much managed to Fairhaven with a beautiful kind of sort of mostly drift. I'll give it to them.
Oh, we might get hit.
A little bit high. School Safety having a bit of a problem. Gets around Fairhaven though, so if he can manage to, well, no, it's definitely not. I would assume Undercover and Transit Police are probably on the way here. Yes, here comes someone who's that Transit Police.
Oh, looks like we got a pile up.
We got a bit of a pile up here. NYPD Undercover got busted on the long straight, and he's blocking DEP and Detroit. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah. But as a result, Transit Police manages to take his 5th place position back, and he is going to try and gain some of that lost ground that he needs to make up.
Oh, Interceptor spins out.
Police Interceptor spins out on the cinematic corner as well. However, no one will be here to capitalize on it. Here comes Fairhaven just now, rounding out that corner as well to try and challenge the strong competitors. And here comes School Safety in the 4th place position. Bit of damage to his car, but that is okay. And he is on his way around the cinematic corner as well, rounding out that 4th place position.
You know, I realized that the pile-up is at the end of the long straight, and that's where normally the cars are in the middle of a jump, so that might cause some issues for the runner.
That is true, yes, and I assume that is why you've decided not to remove Undercover and get Detroit and DEP going. You actually want to see what happens at the end of the round if that roadblock remains there, because that'll be a bit of a problem. What's DEP doing?
Looks like
Detroit is actually trying to push the roadblock out, apparently. DEP and Detroit are just trying to do what they can. Undercover is, it's just all kinds of busted over. Transit, dang it. Well, School Safety is a bit flipped over as well. This appears to be, on the turn on the bottom of the incline.
Maybe he overshot the corner and then, like, flipped over.
He did appear to overshoot the corner and flip over, yes. Also very unfortunate for Transit Police that he is just underwater somewhere. That makes me sad.
Many of these cars are getting pretty damaged, actually. Like, especially Fairhaven. We don't normally see him that damaged. And into the trees.
Fairhaven goes into the forest as well, so that's a bit of a problem for him. Looks like potentially that means that Mississippi and Police Interceptor are the only cars that are up here. So that means we could be seeing a front runner here emerging from this round. It could be the end of the tie, ladies and gentlemen. Unless the runner manages to get... DEP and Detroit are nowhere to be found, but Undercover is still holding that roadblock. Runner moves around Undercover as well. Mississippi does the same, and will Police Interceptor be able to move around it as well? Police Interceptor kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know if he hit it, but yeah, his tire's a bit busted, so Police Interceptor's down. I'm gonna scream, what happened? DEP looks like he came out... Well, the runner's still going, so it doesn't matter, but here comes DEP. Police Interceptor hits Mississippi, and the runner is now going back around the long straight. I don't know what happened because we missed it, but I would be willing to assume that DEP was actually going the opposite way on the track and somehow, along with Mississippi, managed to flip the runner around, so well done to them. But the runner is still going, and the point has not yet been awarded. Is there anyone moving down the long straight to seize that head-on collision, though?
We could save Fairhaven and get him a head-on collision.
We could save Fairhaven and give him a head-on collision. Yes, that is true. Fairhaven comes out of the forest, and will he be able to capitalize on that as the runner moves down the long straight, followed closely by who is behind the runner is a good question.
Doesn't seem like he's being followed by anyone at all. They're all stuck at the town.
That is true, yes. Oh, here comes Police Interceptor, though. Where is Mississippi and DEP? Are they stuck on each other?
Looks like
DEP looked like he's a bit stuck, and there's Mississippi in the background. So, yes, Police Interceptor and Fairhaven are the only ones pretty much left in this game, unless we do some respawning. How are things going at the runner? Here's the runner. Where is Fairhaven? He is where Fairhaven used to be, but we don't know where Fairhaven even is. There's Fairhaven. He's on this cliff turn right before the long straight, and he's going pretty slow. What an interesting round, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the underdog versus the champion. Oh, here's Detroit, though. Player 3 has entered the game. Detroit tries to go for the head-on, but misses it completely.
You know, this is very interesting. Normally when the runner gets spun around, like there's someone quick behind him to get a head-on collision, but no one seems to be wanting to take the chance here.
That is true. No one seems to be wanting to take the chance in this game because most of the cars are just pretty damaged. Police Interceptor are having a lot of lost ground to make up. Fairhaven as well with a bit of damage. Detroit looks fine, but just seemed to chicken out of getting that head-on collision, and Detroit is now technically in the first place position. However, maybe Detroit's car has been slowed by something. Maybe Detroit's car is damaged.
That might be true. Let's check on him.
Where's Detroit? Yeah, Detroit does appear to have a bit of damage over on the front. However, is it affecting his speed? I do not know. There's no way to see for certain.
They're coming through the bus turn right now, which might cause some problems if the shipping container doesn't do its job properly.
That is true, yes. Here's hoping the runner and Detroit. Oh, he's gonna go. No, he gets the turn. He kind of bumps the shipping container, but he got the turn. He is okay. Who's that? Yeah, the runner got quite a bit of damage as well. But yeah, here comes Detroit. Looks like Detroit's going to try and do it. Detroit is here at the runner. Could this be Detroit's time to shine? He gets contact. Ladies and gentlemen, he gets contact. Detroit is making contact with the runner. And with the cinematic corner now, here is he going to run him off the cliff? He runs him off the cliff, ladies and gentlemen. Detroit is the winner of this round. Detroit, man, in the least spectacular way possible, which is surprising from Detroit. Detroit just freaking gently, just leads the runner off the cliff. But now they're literally on the cliff. They didn't even fall down in the water. So yeah, the runners. Oh my God! If the runner actually gets back up the cliff, no, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, he backs up. Looks like the runner's gone. And there's Police Interceptor in the background trying to move ahead to the scene of the accident.
Well, to be fair, the runner isn't stopped yet, but it's not like he can go anywhere.
I know,
so
but he's stuck,
that?
and that still counts. I would say that still counts. He's on a cliff, so. Ooh,
there goes Detroit.
Well, there goes Detroit. There goes Detroit having himself a nice old dip. Victory dip. Yeah, this runner is probably not going to get out of that cliff. So I would say that in perhaps the least and most spectacular way possible, ironically, Detroit throws the runner off the cliff, except not really. He gently directs the runner off the cliff. And even though the runner is still technically running, looks like he's about to fall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just about, possibly, there he's sliding. It's very slow. But yeah, no sense beating around the bush. It looks like the winner of that round will be Detroit, who now has 5 points. And he is tied with Fairhaven City. Can you believe it, Devion?
Well, I can't, because normally he's in the back, and that means he would probably not get as much points as the people in the front. But, he's got 5 points now, so that's interesting.
Yes, and I have to say, even though there was no there goes the runner. I have to say, even though there was no spectacular, leap off the cliff and the cars didn't tumble off of it, I almost feel like the feat of getting the runner off the cliff gently to the point where he can hang out on that ledge for so long, I feel like that is something that is of note here.
Yeah, interesting that Detroit is the one who gets the most style points, but when he scores a point, it's actually very anticlimactic.
That is true, yes. Detroit just wanted to prove that he could do something ridiculous that we've never seen before. But yeah, Detroit manages to get himself a point here on round 28, and as a result, he has 5 points, and he is tied with Fairhaven City as a result for that third place position.
Oh, here comes the runner.
Oh, there's the runner, and the... Man, Detroit in water.
It's interesting that it took that long for the runner to go the opposite way around for him to actually get taken out by somebody.
I agree. That was a very interesting round, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the big name competitors kind of just faltered that round. Fairhaven as well, the underdog, and Detroit just managed to stay up and take it through to the end and get himself that 5th point to call his own.
You know, this kind of backs up my statement that you could just wait out the carnage up front and then eventually get the point yourself at the end.
Yes, I definitely agree, my friend Devion. Waiting out the carnage is definitely a viable strategy, and it can allow some of the underdogs to get themselves points. If only Velasco City actually managed to develop that strategy before Detroit perfected it here in this round.
And now we will check on the other competitors.
Indeed, yes. How are the other competitors doing in this game? Detroit won, obviously. Detroit won, and they're underwater. Here's Police Interceptor. Looks like he had problems getting up the incline, and now he's just busted there. Pretty unfortunate for him. Oh, yeah, right. School safety at the turn on the bottom of the incline is flipped over as well. Very unfortunate for him.
And most of the cars got took out at the town, to be honest.
That's true. A lot of the cars were screwed up at the town. Here's Undercover, who served as quite the interesting roadblock, taking a page out of Velasco's playbook, clearly. Over in the town, we have our newcomer DEP Police just kind of busted and pulled over on that particular curb. Just behind him is Mississippi. Another big competitor just didn't really have it in that game, as well as lost a tire as well.
And Mississippi's not really having a good time here because like he got taken out by basically the person in the back of the field.
That is true, yes. Mississippi and DEP moved into the town, and it was their time to strike, but it just wasn't enough, and the runner continued going, allowing for Detroit to grab that point in the end.
At the same time, his main competitor, Interceptor, also got taken out. So it's like the people with the more points here, like, basically got screwed up in round 28.
True, yes. Round 28 was definitely the underdogs round, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, it was kind of like just everyone, really. DEP, just pretty much no one is up now at this point. Like, I don't think we've had a round where just no one is up. And Detroit as well, because they're technically in the water, I would say. This is like just no one who's left functioning. I am sad, but yeah, Transit Police is underwater. They're even in the far somewhere taking a... Is that same place again? Wow. Fairhaven just decided he needed a break from all the action, just decided to go be one with nature for a little while today for this round. He just decided to have a break. You know? Obviously very tired from chasing Devion so many times during his recent gameplay. And he just decided, you know, he just wanted a break for the round. Decided to have some sightseeing. Just have some sightseeing.
And with the conclusion of round 28, we'll reset all the cars and move on to round 29.
And welcome to the lineup for round 29, ladies and gentlemen. And our commentators have elected to not go through the lineup for this particular round. And with that said, we are just going to jump right into it. Activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts because round number 29 is about to begin. They're off, ladies and gentlemen, as they all activate their sirens one by one. The front runners in the front, hence the name. Followed closely by Fairhaven City, the underdog, school safety as well in the fourth, transit police in the fifth, NYPD Undercover in the sixth, as well as Detroit, our champion of the last round as well, now tied with Fairhaven for the third place position, moving ahead as well, and DEP Police, our newcomer, rounding out the position in the last place.
It seems like a lot of cars seem to want to spin out on this corner now.
That is true. A lot of the cars recently have been doing interesting drifts. Fairhaven just casually goes into the clip. What the... School safety, though, having a bit of a problem as well. Fairhaven just decided he didn't need that bumper, and NYPD Undercover aggressively goes around the edge. Transit Police looks like he may keep that position. Detroit versus Transit Police. Transit Police comes out on top, but Undercover is now ahead of him. And DEP Police has overtaken Detroit as well. So, yes, plenty of position changes here in this particular turn.
You know, it's interesting. Didn't Detroit get, like, basically overtaken early in the last round, but he still won the round?
Yes, the interesting part about that is that DEP and Detroit were battling each other for those positions, but the thing that ended up happening is that NYPD Undercover stopped them. And speaking of interesting things that are happening, looks like Police Interceptor tries. Did I mention Fairhaven is in second? Hey, Fairhaven is in second, ladies and gentlemen. Did you spot that? Fairhaven is now in the second place position. They somehow overtook Police Interceptor. I'm glad I spotted that.
You know, I'm more surprised by the fact that Mississippi is really close to a runner right now.
True, yes, that as well, and I was getting to that. Mississippi is pretty close to the runner, a lot closer than normal. Mississippi appears to be close to the runner, and here's Fairhaven in second, Police Interceptor in third. Fairhaven looks like he could feel intimidated by Detroit's recent tie with him, and he wants to get a new point for himself to tie himself up with Transit Police. That would be a very interesting set of Well, but point standings, yes, that'd be a very interesting. Oh, but Mississippi getting contact on the long straight. What is this camera angle, though? Brought to you by DP. Mississippi getting contact on the long straight, yes. Oh, is this going to turn into something? Is he going to get that spin, though, or is he just going to keep pushing the runner until the beach turn? Looks like Mississippi could be Mississippi's round to lose here, ladies and gentlemen, if he manages to get that stop against the runner. Here comes the beach turn. Ooh, runner's brakes are a bit busted. Runner spins out. Mississippi with the T-bone off the rock. Flips the runner around. Police interceptor smashes Mississippi. And is the runner still going? Police interceptor is flipped over. Ferryman is here as well. What an interesting end to the round. Is the runner still going, though? Here comes school safety as well. Trying to bump them all off. Detroit as well. Oh, Detroit ramping off all the competitors. Ferryman, Transit police just getting airborne as well. They're even driving down to stop the runner as well. I can't even tell what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, what a chaotic ending to this round. Like,
What a chaotic and good ending.
the moment you think there's gonna be like the crashing's gonna stop, you see transit police come out of nowhere and like fly into him.
Transit police unironically yeeting himself. Also, Detroit doing the same thing, using the runner as a ramp to talk about style points. Who even won that?
I don't know. I feel like Mississippi definitely gets that point. He
Did
smashed
you
him
say
into a rock.
Mississippi won that, or like?
I mean, yeah.
My God, what a rat.
Yeah, for a
Alright.
moment I thought the runner could keep going because I flipped him back over, and then we have like 4 other cars that come flying in and take him out.
I think Fairhaven is stopping the runner by a bumper. That's like, yeah, look at that. They're not really making contact. This broken bumper is making contact with the runner, and that's why they stopped. Wow.
You know, it seems like the beach turn is back again for like being able
Beach
to.
turn is back, ladies and gentlemen. The beach turn makes its triumphant return in this round.
Yeah, for the past couple rounds, seems like the beach turn hasn't done much, but it seems like now it's being put to use again.
True, yes, it is the triumphant return of the beach turn, and that actually rhymes. But yeah, it looks like there's no other person to be considered the winner, and I would say Mississippi is now on top and is the champion for now of the Grand Marshal tournament. They now have 8 points.
You know, I think Mississippi got tired of being taken out every time he tries to take the lead here, so he decided to be super aggressive this round and, you know, get 8 points, basically, right now.
Yes, I agree. Mississippi, having finally gotten sick of battling with Police Interceptor, it pulls out the most aggressive round in several episodes, actually. Gets really close to the runner for pretty much the entire time, and actually manages to spin him out on the beach turn before he manages to complete a lap in one of the most spectacular endings to a round we've had.
And with Mississippi over with, let's check on the other competitors.
Police Interceptor is flipped over spectacularly. Fairhaven is right there. School Safety is right there as well. There's Transit Police. Detroit is in the water to the left.
And looks
The
like
only
we're
people
missing.
are DP and Nypd Undercover. Where are
Yes,
they?
what happened to them?
That is an interesting question as well. Where are they? Undercover is busted somewhere. Where's... Oh, right. They did the whole stupid thing where they just go hiking up a mountain. Oh, and DEP flipped around at this lake over here. All right.
Maybe he's checking the environmental safety of this lake.
That is true, yes. Had to make sure the water was clear and clean. And welcome to the lineup for round number 30, ladies and gentlemen. In our first place position, both in terms of the lineup and the point standings, we have Mississippi Highway Patrol State Trooper, who has finally managed to emerge from Police Interceptor's shadow and defeated him in terms of points. He now possesses 8 points and also is the current champion of this particular tournament at the moment. He's in the lead. I mean, he hasn't been crowned the champion. It's not over yet for him. But he is currently in the lead with 8 points, pulling out a spectacularly aggressive performance in the last round. We'll be able to see, though, if he can hold that position, because he is definitely poised to lose it if Police Interceptor pulls out something similar. And in addition, there are also other strong competitors to worry about, such as Fairhaven Transit Police and Detroit as well, I must say. Over in the second place position, we have Police Interceptor, who was in first for so long and was tied for first with Mississippi, but in the end, Mississippi managed to get ahead of him in that particular respect. He has 7 points, but he is now 1 short and is now technically in second place. He's gonna have a lot of ground. He's gonna have a lot of ground to make up if he's going to manage to rival Mississippi or continue the rivalry with Mississippi. Otherwise, he'll be left in the dust and could be in the very long term under threat of elimination. In the third place position, our famous underdog, hailing from the 2012 game Need for Speed Most Wanted, 2012 as it's called because there's multiple games called Most Wanted. In any event, we have Fairhaven City with 5 points, quite the fan favorite underdog here, and hasn't really managed to do much this particular episode, but has a couple of spectacular wins under his belt, such as literally pit maneuvering police interceptor and overtaking Mississippi, or maybe it was vice versa. Either way, he did that in he did that. I think that was round 18, because who could forget that round? But yes, in any event, if Fairhaven City can manage to bring some of that same underdog spirit and some of those spectacular police chasing skills, he will be able to put himself on the board to rival Transit Police, Police Interceptor, and finally perhaps even to overtake Mississippi and potentially grab himself that first place position for himself. I said himself twice, so don't worry about it. In the fourth place position, we have NYPD School Safety with a point. Hasn't really done much this episode, but that's okay. Not a lot of newcomers do a whole lot for a while. I mean, just look at Fairhaven and just look at Fairhaven. I think Fairhaven was in. I like how I'm talking about Fairhaven, even though it's school safety. But yeah, I think Fairhaven has been in since episode 2, and they've just now been breaking out as a strong competitor. But yeah, the point is, school safety couldn't do the same thing. Just because they have 1 point now, a few episodes into their reign, doesn't mean that they will never do something. It could be their time to shine this round. They could put themselves on the board, or they could falter and be under a longer-term threat of elimination. Either way, there is only one way to find out if this particular vehicle will continue to be in the tournament. In our fifth place position, the champion of the 15-round tournament hasn't had the greatest set of rounds recently, but he does have that fighting spirit. We have New York City Transit Police, a retired police vehicle. Just in case people are watching this who don't know, this is a retired department and a retired livery that was active in the 90s that got merged into the NYPD. We'll see if he can bring some of that same spirit that he's had in the past in order to get himself that 7th point and finally put himself in the second place position with Police Interceptor. If he manages to do that, it would be a very interesting battle for first, ladies and gentlemen. But at the moment, he does have a lot of ground to make up, and a lot of strong competitors to face and defeat in these police chasing rounds. Over in the 6th place position, we have, this is not an NYPD vehicle, both literally and figuratively, apparently. We have NYPD Undercover, who has kind of not really done much, taken a page out of Belasco's playbook in that last round. So, in Detroit's round, actually, not round 29. Round 28, yeah, in that round. Yeah, NYPD Undercover with no points, who's actually been in here for a couple of episodes, I think. I could check, but I'm actually too lazy to. Yeah, NYPD Undercover, it looks like, if we're being completely honest, they are under threat of elimination here in this game because they have just not really done a lot in these recent rounds. They have no points despite being in here for a while, and they just aren't really managing to get anything done here in this game, I would say.
Yeah, Belasco had an excuse that he was in the back of the pack, but NYPD Undercover is not even in last place, and cars behind him have scored points in this episode.
That is true, yes. NYPD Undercover has pretty much no excuse because I'm pretty sure previous 6th place cars have, like LCPD Beta, have scored points. Detroit behind him has 5. He's tied for Fairhaven, and Belasco was in last. NYPD Undercover, though, has no excuse. I guess relying on those stealth tactics too much hasn't really been helping him in this game, and it could spell the doom of his reign here in this tournament.
Undercover has done some pretty risky overtakes in this episode, but it doesn't seem like he's actually using those overtakes for getting a point here.
That is true, my friend Devion. They have managed to get a couple of overtakes, but beyond that, they haven't managed to make anything happen. In the 7th place position, the champion of round 28, we have the Detroit Police Car, wallpaper on wheels, as I continue to say. However, perhaps I should consider ceasing these particular funds that I poke at. I don't even know if that's correct grammatically, but yes, Detroit Police now with 5 points, tied with Fairhaven City for that. I'm pretty sure it's 4th now, technically, though, because the tie in front has been broken. The tie in front has been broken by Mississippi, and that means that Fairhaven and Detroit are technically tied for 4th now. But still, that is a very strong tie, ladies and gentlemen. Detroit with 5 points, despite being a rather semi-recent newcomer, kind of, sorta as well. In such a rear place position, they have really proved themselves to be quite the formidable competitor, not just with the points positions as well. They've managed to have quite a bit of style points themselves. So yeah, very interesting. Just a flat out very interesting competitor with a unique set of skills that make people a nightmare for people. But in any event, yes, movie references aside, Detroit Police is yeah, like I said, just a really interesting competitor and an interesting with an interesting set of skills and abilities. What do you think, Devian?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that wallpaper is helping him out here.
True. It's like that could be true. Every time he looks at his own car, he's reminded of the city that he hails from, and he wants to make the city of Detroit proud. Perhaps he also wants to make a big, spectacle of himself, evidenced by all of his style points. And in our final position, we have the Department of Environmental Protection or Preservation, please, one of them. And yeah, I believe this is New York. Yes, this is definitely New York. It says it on the back. DEP, not completely sure if it's protection or preservation, but regardless, it is the DEP police car who is actually hailing from their second place performance. I mean, to be fair to them, they were tied to two other cars. Their second place performance in the 15-round tournament hasn't really managed to make anything happen in the first 2 rounds of this episode, but luckily for them, there's still plenty of time because it has pretty much become a new rule at this point that we are now just acknowledging that we don't eliminate the car that was added in the same episode. I think that happened once, but like we don't really do that anymore. I think it's like, yeah. Regardless, yes, DEP Police is here to stay for this episode at least. Hopefully, they'll be able to justify that by making something happen in this round. Otherwise, they could fall under Belasco syndrome because they are in Belasco's former position. They definitely do have a lot of ground to make up if they're going to manage to put themselves on the board and get themselves in the running. In any event, I am prepared, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully my friend Debian is prepared. Activate your sign, turn on the lights, start your engines fast as you say because round number 30 is about to begin. And yes, here go the competitors. Mississippi State Trooper now in that first position. Police Interceptor in second. Fairhaven with that fourth place tie. School Safety trying to make something happen with that beautiful light bar. Trans Police in fifth. Undercover in sixth. Detroit in seventh. And DEP Police in the eighth place position.
So, Username, do you think being in last place position, DEP's gonna get any points in this round?
That is a very good question. DEP is definitely a formidable competitor from the past, but they could fall under Belasco syndrome. And here comes Police Interceptor and Fairhaven having themselves a nice spin. Fairhaven almost did a good spin. School Safety overtakes Fairhaven as well. Transit and Fairhaven have themselves a bit of an issue there. NYPD Undercover tries to thread the needle, is unable to though. Fairhaven moves ahead as well. Here comes Transit Police, NYPD Undercover. DEP Police now in a new position as well, trying to overtake Undercover. Will they manage to do it though? They managed to do it, it looks like, yes. They're now in this sixth place position. DEP Police now apparently doing better than Belasco ever did.
Yeah, DEP's really aggressive on his overtakes, just like Undercover. But DEP has nothing to worry about because it's first episode. But you know, Undercover is now in last place, but he's on the chopping block right now.
That is true, yes. Undercover needs to make something happen this round, otherwise he will be out of this tournament. Mississippi Police Interceptor and School Safety of all people. Gosh dang! Okay, well, he's still up, it's fine. Fairhaven spins out for absolutely no reason. Oh, he actually gets himself a spin. What a recovery. Look at Fairhaven. Nice recovery from Fairhaven. I like it. Transit Police kind of does the same thing, but DEP is now actually here. Same with Detroit as well. And here's NYPD Undercover as well, trying almost bumps Transit Police. DEP Police now in, I think that's fifth. Yeah, DEP Police grab themselves a nice amount of positions right there, I've got to say.
Oh, looks like School Safety is in the tree.
School Safety spins out. School Safety busts themselves on this particular force turn. It looks like they will be helped. Transit Police having something happen over there. And Undercover, okay. Undercover bumps him, but that's okay because he was just pulled out. Yep, he was pulled out of the forest.
You know, what I've noticed in this episode is that not many cars need help to like get pulled out, and they don't seem to get stuck that often.
That is true, yes. These cars are definitely bringing their A-game this round. Fairhaven with the very nice recovery as well, like I said. Transit Police kind of sort of did the same thing, but here is the beach turn, ladies and gentlemen. Will Mississippi pull the same sort of strategy? It looks like they will not do so. Mississippi and Police Interceptor, as usual, are at the front battling for that first place position. And who's just behind him? Is it Fairhaven? Fairhaven is just behind him, yes. Fairhaven having a nice time. Is that DEP? DEP in the fourth place position as well. Detroit in the 5th, I think Transit in 6th, Undercover in 7th, and that leaves like School Safety is busted, yeah.
Yeah, Undercover really needs to do something if he wants to stay in this tournament.
Undercover really needs to do something if he wants to manage to stay in the tournament. Oh, looks like some of the cars have been busted, including DEP. Fairhaven has been busted at the beach start. DEP is trying to recover, but those rocks are very formidable, and here comes Transit and Undercover to grab some positions as a result of it. I'd just like to casually point out how the nitrous pack that Fairhaven secretly has was exposed right there. It's not active, though, so it doesn't mean anything for the tournament. DEP now being put back on the road as well. And not a whole huge amount is happening in this game, I would say. Not a whole huge amount, just a couple of cars have been busted. There's Mississippi, I think, at the shipping container.
What happened to Interceptor? He's far back now.
Yeah, Interceptor's a bit further back now. In the 3rd place, we have Detroit of all people in the 3rd place. Transit in 5th. That's not 5th, right? I'm an idiot. Hold on, wait. Detroit is in 3rd, I think. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. Yeah, they're in 3rd. Transit Police in 4th, and Undercover is actually in 5th. So yeah, these couple of underdog cars. Looks like Mississippi is a bit close to the runner in the background. What's going on over there? Nothing in wait, baby. Oh, that's a bit of a spin. Looks like Mississippi's getting themselves a bit of a spin. I like it, potentially. Here comes the runner moving back. This could be Police Interceptor. It's time to shine and stop that. Yep, there's the runner being stopped by Police Interceptor. Looks like the runner is going to get potentially boxed in here, ladies and gentlemen, but here comes some of the underdogs. Detroit gets a little busted at the cliff. There's Transit as well. I don't think I would count this. I don't think I would count this as an end to a round. Runner will be pulled off of Police Interceptor, and here comes a lot of the cars. The runner will be having a very difficult time getting out of this as well. There's Mississippi as well. Looks like Police Interceptor overtakes Mississippi and is now in the 1st place position. Detroit and Transit doing whatever they can as well. Undercover in the back. Looks like Detroit's a little bit busted, and looks like the chase is back on. And how are things going at the run? School Safety. Police Interceptor passes by. School Safety is now in the first position. It looks like Mississippi's lead could be challenged here. It might not even last a full episode if Police Interceptor manages to turn this front place lead into a point. What do you think, my friend Devion?
You know, Interceptor being the flea car, like, the runner's gonna be really taking off now. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do to catch him.
That is true. Yes, I agree, and that's actually something that we should talk about with our viewers. So the way BeamNG works is that the runner is actually technically fleeing only one of the cars, and if that car, which is Police Interceptor because he was in the lead, if that car crashes, then the runner will slow down and will be more likely to get stopped by someone. And we figured out that if the fleet car is too far, the runner spins out on the beach turn here. Looks like could be Police Interceptor time to shine. Gets the hit on the runner as well. Mississippi bumps himself on the the beach turn. He's actually flipped over now. Police Interceptor is now this could be anyone's round to win as a result of this. Look at that. Mississippi busted Police Interceptor needs a lot of recovery as a result. It looks like this could be anyone's round to win at the moment. Who else is active though?
Oh, looks like we got a little pile up over here.
Detroit Transit with a bit of a pile up. Oh, there's Undercover in the back too.
You believe any resets should take place?
As soon as the runner gets past the spawn point, a few. Oh, here comes Transit Police. He gets out of that, yep. Anyway, as I was saying, so, yeah, that's the way BeamNG works, and we figured out that if the fleet car is too far back, then the runner will go so slow that Mississippi will just, like, get him on the cinematic corner the whole time. We did a test, and Mississippi kind of won because the runner was going too slow. What happened to DEP? Oh, they got the beach turn, yeah. DEP got beach turned, I guess.
So runner's still going after all this time, and the Interceptor still being in 1st place. Oh, never mind.
Oh, never mind. The Police Interceptor is now actually going off the cliff, so that is his round to lose. Mississippi retakes that 1st place position, but he is being followed closely by Fairhaven, who I'm pretty sure got reset, but I was too busy talking about the fleet car. Yep, all the cars are back, ladies and gentlemen. Fairhaven in 2nd, School Safety in 3rd, Undercover in 4th, and Detroit in 5th. Looks like Transit is somewhere else as well. Probably. Anyway, well, you go ahead and do that. I'll finish my thought. We found out if the fleet car is too far back, then the runner will go too slow and get caught, like, instantly. And if the fleet car is the 1st car, Mississippi, he tends to go really fast for, like, a while. And it makes the rounds really long. So we figured out a good middle ground is to make it the 2nd car. So Police Interceptor, which was fair because they've been in the lead this whole time. And they aren't anymore, but still. Police Interceptor is the fleet car because we found that it's a pretty good balance that makes the runner go at a reasonable speed. Looks like Fairhaven has himself a bit of spin out. Same with School Safety. Mississippi goes up the cliff. Oh my goodness! Undercover now manages to take the 1st place position. This could be Undercover's round to lose now. If he manages to turn this into a point, he will be safe from elimination.
You know, it's interesting. Undercover is in risk of elimination, but then everyone else wipes out in front of him, therefore gives him the lead.
That is true, yes. Everyone gets screwed. Police interceptor passes by Mississippi as well. And the lineup has drastically changed, ladies and gentlemen. Undercover is now in front, followed close by school safety. And where's that? Oh, it's the long straight. It's like transit police wanting to master all of the potential police chasing skills and strategies is going to turn himself into a roadblock for this game. I think you should respawn DEP, by the way.
I don't think we have enough time for DP to catch up because he's just gonna turn around.
That's true, yeah, they might get a head on. See that? And we don't want to just hand them a head on most of the time.
So since the fleet card's really further back, Undercover should be able to catch him pretty easily, like right here. If he doesn't hit transit police.
Runner is now going slow. Undercover is getting that contact. Yep, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it doesn't manage to do it. Detroit with the spin out though. Detroit with a very nice spin out, but the runner is still going. Where's Undercover? He's off in the trees over there. The runner is still going though. Detroit needs to get back on the grid. Here's Fairhaven though, of all people. Fairhaven moving in on that first place position. Is Fairhaven going to get himself another point? His car is really damaged though, but then again, so is the runner's car. This beach turn could be his time to shine. He's moving in. Oh, he's not really sure what happened. He moved in. The runner's still going. Huge school safety of all people. What the heck on collision? Mississippi as well, bumping into Fairhaven. Undercover here as well.
The runner is still going.
He's still going though, and school safety, despite having like a third of his car left, is still going after the runner. Look at this contact though, ladies and gentlemen. Fairhaven with a beautiful attack through the town, but it only allowed school safety to move in for a massive head-on. It's Undercover is here as well. It's the battle of the underdogs, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Undercover takes that position. Is Undercover going to be able to do it? No, he overshoots. This runner really needs to make something happen here. School safety, though, with the head-on, and he's still going. Look at school safety, though. School safety. Oh, and he makes contact with the runner once again over at the spawn point. School safety, though, with an incredible round, ladies and gentlemen. And Undercover has pretty much gotten stuck. And it looks like this is school safety's round, ladies and gentlemen, unless someone else comes here to challenge him.
You know, Undercover, he had multiple chances to catch him because he has a much more pristine car, but he's still not able to catch up.
That is true. Undercover basically has a pristine car, and he really needs to be doing his best, otherwise he'll be under threat of elimination. But can you believe it? Can you believe the runner and the car who smashed him in the front, both of them have survived the head-on and are still here and still battling? School safety is a hair's length away from that point and just can't seem to make it happen at the moment. What happened, Undercover?
Oh, he wrecked again.
Okay. Well done, Undercover. Well done, Undercover. Great work.
So how do you think this round's gonna end? Because they're still going after all that time.
I don't know, Devion. Looks like the runner looks like he's going left a little bit. If school safety can stop this turn and get him off the cliff, then it will be his round to win. Oh, he does it! Kind of.
I'll count it.
Yeah, we're counting it. We're counting that. We're counting it. The runner is now dipped off the cliff, ladies and gentlemen, and school safety with a spectacularly ferocious head-on collision, as well as a continued pretty much assault on the runner, manages to seize this round. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Of all people, school safety capitalizes on Fairhaven's inability to get the runner, and he doesn't even put the runner off the cliff. He just does that, yeah. Who knew that you could actually put the runner off the cliff in a slower, even lesser spectacular way than Detroit did in round 28?
You know, like, I'm surprised that the runner was actually hit over here and made it all the way over there, and after all that damage.
I agree. The runner and school safety both suffered a head-on collision and continued to fight it out to the end. Can you believe that? School safety has, like, no car anymore in front of his windshield, pretty much. And he was still going that entire time.
It shows how determined he is to stay in here.
True, yes. He was worried about that elimination talk we talked about, and he decided to pull off something amazing here for this round.
And let's check on the other competitors.
Write it down. School safety head-on collisions, the runner, and both fight to the very end, and the runner gets gently nudged off the cliff and parks sideways. Yeah, that's what the notepad document will now have. Oh, hello, Seagull. How's it going?
All right, let's talk
Anyway,
about that.
yes, Mississippi, our leader, didn't really do a whole too much that round. Fairhaven managed to spin the runner, but wasn't able to turn it into a point. Police Interceptor as well. I'm not even sure what Police Interceptor is. That's not Police Interceptor. That is DEP, who got a little bit busted at the beach turn like a little bit ago. Where's Police Interceptor? That's Detroit. Detroit hit a pole. Very unfortunate for him, yeah. We got Transit Police a little bit busted on the long straight. Also very unfortunate for him. Where's Police Interceptor? Oh, there they are. Police Interceptor gets busted the force, so he basically decides to try out being, a underperforming car. He just tries that out, you could say.
Police Interceptor's not really having a Police Interceptor day right here. He's been like not scoring any points whatsoever, and this is how he ends the episode.
That is true. Perhaps his morale's been a little bit shaken by the fact that he lost his lead after holding his lead since the very first episode. Can you believe it, Devion? We actually have a new leader after like the entire tournament pretty much. He got an early lead and he was able to hold it for the entire tournament until today.
For 30 rounds, he was able to hold a lead, basically.
For just about 30 rounds, he was able to hold the lead, and it looked like he would go on to be the Grand Marshal champion. But he never expected Mississippi to emerge from the depths and from the brink of elimination in episode 2. He never expected Mississippi to come in and get so many points, and actually managed to challenge him for that lead. There's a word that's escaped me. Yeah, there's a word that's challenge him for the lead. Much less is the term. He never expected Mississippi to challenge him for the lead, much less take the lead from him. So yes, let us have a look at our competitors here for this round 30, ladies and gentlemen, especially because it is pretty much a new day in the realm of the police chasing tournament. We have Transit Police that's still busted at the long straight. Very unfortunate for them. 6 points is very respectable, though. Detroit Police, I guess they're in the pole position. Yeah, because they hit the pole. Detroit once again with the stop points. Mississippi and Fairhaven right next to each other as well in the beach turn. They did pretty well. NYPD Undercover is just completely pathetic, and they will absolutely be deserving their elimination here.
Yeah, he had a pretty pristine car at the end of the round, while School Safety was driving half a car. Yet he still got stuck on something, and we got him unstuck, and he basically got stuck on something else.
That is true. After a couple rounds of trying to use those stealth tactics, he has evidently proven that he is not. Not only is he not an NYPD vehicle, he is also not a worthy police chasing vehicle, and he will be eliminated from this tournament for, quite frankly, a set of very disappointing rounds, as well as like, come on, School Safety had a third of their car left, and you had virtually a pristine car.
Yeah, I was really hoping for him when over at the cliff turn, he basically took the lead. I was hoping he would do something with that and maybe score some points, but obviously this is what he does.
That was his last chance. NYPD Undercover got past most of the stronger competitors over at the cliff turn, but he wasn't able to turn it into anything. And the only thing he turned it into was a massive upset.
Yeah, like most of the time he was just not there, or I guess a little bit worse than usual. But the time he was supposed to shine, he basically did even worse than what he normally did.
That is true, yes. And NYPD Undercover, unfortunately, will be richly deserving his elimination from the tournament.
I believe this is probably the first time I actually really hate a vehicle so much I wanted to be eliminated.
Yeah, Devion has a lot of seething rage that's apparently just directed at NYPD Undercover for being such a massive disappointment, especially after other cars who've been eliminated have proved that, the 6th place position can get points.
Anyways, with NYPD Undercover eliminated, that'll be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This is me, Devion, and my co-commentator, Username Here, signing off, and we'll see you in the next episode.